Howdy Shop Warrior. I've got this MuscleRack 5-tier shelf. I'm going to show you how to put this thing together, and there's a few tips that I've got that'll make this a lot faster and easier for you. Alright, let's get to it. When you get everything out of the box, here's what you end up with. Your shelves, your vertical posts, and your horizontal beams, cross braces, whatever you want to call them, that hold the shelves, and then of course your instructions. This is one of the key points that they show here in the directions. Post slot points down. So when you look at these posts here, let's see, there's the big part and the little part. The little part should be in the bottom. It should look like this. As you're assembling this, just make sure that you're getting all these pointed down like this. A good place to start with these is to get two of the posts, one there, one there. Make sure they're pointed the right direction, which means the little holes towards the bottom, and then one of the longer braces here. And I lay it on the floor, so I'm sort of building it sideways right now. But for the first piece, I find that's an easy way to do it. So then you just line up these holes into the big part, and then slide it down to the small part. We'll do that on both sides. And then we'll take a rubber hammer and we'll knock these pieces in. So what you want to use is a hammer, one of these type. This is the larger, a medium one would probably be ideal, but medium or large type rubber hammer like this will work fine. So I've just taken the piece and I've just set it up against my shelf here, make it a little easier. And what we're going to want to do is just hammer like right here in this area to get this little pin part, head of this, to go down into the slot a little more, so that way it's nice and secure. Just give it a little tap, drive it down, go to the other side, give it a little tap, drive it down. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to turn this around. Okay, all I did was turn it around. And now I'm going to attach these short pieces that go out this direction. So we'll grab a couple of these. Now another thing you want to pay attention to when you're installing these is this lip. Let's see if we can show you on this one. So this is the lip here that sticks out that the shelf is going to sit on. So you just want to make sure that all of them are rotated up like that. I believe you can do it either side, but I like to do it with the top part. So you just want to make sure as you're installing these that this is on the top and on the top all the way around all four pieces. I'm just going to set that in there. Set this one in. Nope, make sure it's on the top. Make sure that's on top. Okay, now I'm just going to hammer this, hammer that. See if we can do it one-handed. Do this side. Nope, came out. So we're going to hammer that in, and then we're going to work on the next two posts. So I've just taken these, and I've just set it in there loosely into the next set of posts. And I put this piece in, and now I'm just going to tap this down with a hammer, tap that down with a hammer, work my way around. Then we've got the bottom part completely done. Here's a pro tip. So you can, I learned this from my dad, you can use a bolt, and I would recommend a short bolt, not this long one, you know, just a short little bolt. You can put it through here, put your nut on it, and lock it in. Tighten it up, and then that's gonna keep this from being able to slide out. So you could do this either as a temporary solution, just to hold these in place while you're assembling to make it a little easier, or as a permanent solution just to make sure that these don't ever pop out when you're moving it. Just a thought. Thought it was a really good little idea. Here we are with the first row of brackets done. Now we're just going to repeat that. So you're going to want your first set, you know, close to the bottom. I left one hole there, so that way there's a little bit of gap, so I can use my blower, you know, if there's like dirt or grass or anything underneath this, I can use my blower to blow things out underneath it. So I never like to put them all the way down. So I would come up 1 or 2. And then we're going to need to put one here to attach the bottom to the top post. So to connect the 2 posts together, we have to have a shelf here. So then you can just pick whichever slot you want for the next row. And it can go anywhere in here. I'm going to pick somewhere kind of close to the middle. I have loosely fit in all of the side beams, these pieces, and now I'm just going to work my way around, hammering them down one at a time until they're all nice and secure. And then we're just going to repeat that for here. I've hammered these down. I would recommend working your way around twice. So kind of hammer it in, enough to where it's starting to get secure, work your way around, and then just do it one more time just to make sure it's all the way locked in. Now, this is one of the trickiest parts, is when you're adding the top post to the bottom post. So the way that you do it is you kind of straddle, this piece straddles both, right? One of these knobs through the bottom, one of these knobs through the top. What I found is best is to go ahead and I set all 4 pieces in, and then I'm going to go around with the hammer and knock them down so that way they're locked in. And this is going to keep all of these kind of stable. All of these nice and locked in so that way they don't pop out when I'm hammering. So work my way around, hammer them down, and then I'm going to go back and one by one we're going to loosen them up, put in the top post, and then hammer it back down. So especially if you're doing this by yourself, I find this is the best way to do it. So again, you hammer down all the corners, get them locked in, and then we're going to go back and work each post. With all these pieces hammered in, now we're going to go back and do our post, the next post. But it will not fit on because we've hammered it down. So we're going to, just this corner, we're going to pop it up. And I'm going to hammer it up here to pop it loose. See if we can do this with one hand. There we go. Now with it loose, I can put in the next post and we can hammer down everything all at once. Now the reason why I like to have these other corners hammered in is because when I start hammering on this corner, it will keep this from coming out over here. Like if I'm hammering here and this is not all the way in, then this could pop out. So I find to kind of keep everything else secure that you're not working on, the corner that you're not working on, that's why it's best to hammer those down first and then go back, loosen this up, slide that in, hammer it down, and then repeat. So all I did was just I hammered down. I just kind of work it back and forth. I wouldn't do this all the way and then this all the way. I would just do a couple taps here, couple taps here, couple taps here, couple taps here, until it's all the way down. So now with that corner done, we'll just repeat for the rest. Another thing that can make this a little easier and add stability to these posts as you're building it, working your way up, is so I just got this one hammered down, but they're kind of wobbly and shaking. So to add some stability there, I went ahead and added the top crossbar there. So I went ahead and hammered that down, and then once I get that corner post done, then I'll do the long one across the top to again add more stability. That'll keep them from falling off as you're hammering the various corners. So now I've just finished the top. So just to go over the order that I find is best as far as adding these side pieces, the sidebars. So I started at the bottom, did that one, and then I did the second one, and then I did the third one, and then I skipped to the 5th one, and now I'm going to do the last one in between these two right here. I just finished putting in the last rail, and I went to grab the shelves to put into, to slide them in there, and I noticed that one of these corners had come undone. I'll just show you down here. One of these had popped out. So this is another good tip here, is once you're done and you're ready to put the shelves in, good idea to go back and just make sure all of these little pieces are actually connected. Because this one came out with all the hammering and moving and everything, it came out. So definitely go back and check, make sure everything is locked in, and then start adding your shelves.
Thanks for watching, everybody.